the guy in the white Vickers didn't even put on his brakes. It was very violent.
Monday, April 1st, 2024, Dayton, Ohio. The police receive a call from a man reporting a car accident on Interstate 70 near the exit for the Dayton International Airport. The driver who hit him had fled the scene, and officers have to head to the location to gather details about the accident. However, something horrific was unfolding just yards away from the original call. Multiple 911 calls began coming in. An accident had occurred at the intersection of Terminal and Boeing Drive. The police, along with firefighters and EMS, had to respond immediately. The same vehicle was involved in both accidents. I'm Tyler, and this is your daily dose of crime.
He's Unit 1. He was acting goofy on 70, and that guy said he tried to hit him several times. But they're saying this is the Unit 1. He's acting a little goofy, so my guy's standing here. I said, if he acts too goofy, we'll have a medic check him. We put him in the backseat of a cruiser. Just to give you heads up. That's this dude here.
He's got medical equipment, you said?
No, I will have medical check him because he's bleeding from the head.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
But he wanted to get out. I was putting him in the back of a cruiser. He gets to acting too goofy on us.
Yeah.
See, he's kind of acting a little squirrely on us.
Okay.
And there's some maker's mark in there as well.
Okay. Are you guys wanting me to handle correctly?
If you don't mind, yes, because I think we're going to have a fatal. Okay. We're going
This guy up here got on
Hey, Chris!
70 at 48 in Inglewood and was ramming the truck, trying to pit maneuver him the entire way.
What do you need, sir? If you're investigating, whenever he wants to pull these bodies out.
Don't do anything with the bodies yet. So he says that we're doing it.
They're all confirmed.
Stand by right now.
How many we got?
When officers and firefighters arrived at the terminal, they were met with a devastating scene. A gray minivan and a truck were completely destroyed. The officers discussed the driver's behavior at the time of impact and in the minutes leading up to it on Interstate 70 where the first events occurred. The situation was critical and the police needed to figure out exactly what had happened, especially after bottles of alcohol were found in the responsible vehicle.
You witnessed, sir?
Yeah, I was on the phone with 911. He road raged me on 70.
Okay.
Kept hitting me from behind.
Okay.
And I was following.
He hit you from behind?
Oh yeah, I was on the phone with dispatch.
Okay.
And when this happened, yeah, he just started pounding me from behind on 70, so I followed him.
Okay. Well, I mean, road rage technically, or he just come up and hit you, and then he kept hitting you and hitting you?
He kept hitting me and hitting me.
So he hit you initially, and then he kept hitting you.
Then he kept hitting me. He hit me maybe 5 times. He was trying to push me off the road. I pulled over. I was trying to let him go past. The first time he just got up on me.
Okay.
And I was thinking, man.
The road rage would be like where you're hitting him, or you guys are exchanging.
No. There was no back and forth, man. I'm just driving. This dude just came up behind me and just started slamming me. And I tried to get out. And I'm just thinking,
do you have your license on you real quick?
You want a picture, or you want to keep the guy that's going to Grandview? It's the driver number 1, I believe.
Yeah, I'll take that.
How do I get his information? I mean,
we'll get you all the information. Just, I need your license. I'm going to get you started on a statement. That's fine.
Like I say, I was on the phone with 911 when it happened.
1685 to 1401.
Good.
Are we going to need it? Do we need ODOT to also start this way for traffic control?
You guys can deal with traffic control, correct?
We got this. Yep.
Where is he going?
I'll find out, but I'm at one of my guys go with me because I think he's acting a goof.
He is.
And he's OVI.
He's a little combative.
Yep.
Okay. On a statement. He was the first road rage, quote unquote. This guy came up to the back of him and smacked him 5 times. Okay. And then he followed him. And this is
where did this start?
I'm getting that now. I think it started at 30 right around there.
Can you guys circle there for just a second, please?
Yeah. So, like I said, I just got him working on that, because I'm getting him out. Which looks like I'm getting him out now. So, I was going to grab field sketch, photos, with that. We're going to need somebody to get it warm.
Rachel,
so we'll get him down there.
Do me a favor. I'll talk to this guy. Jump in your car, type up a quick Word document of that, where we see what you see out at the scene. Was this guy already gone when you got here?
No, this guy's still here. I did very minimum conversation. I didn't even get close enough. I just seen him in there. Medics were on top of him getting him. These guys did.
Back at the first accident site, officers spoke with the first victim, who explained the events. He had been driving on Interstate 70 when another vehicle suddenly began to rear-end him repeatedly until he pulled over to the side of the road to let it pass. It became clear that the victim had been harassed by the driver, which defined the first charge in the case as aggravated vehicular assault. Authorities needed to proceed and gather all evidence, including blood tests, to determine the aggressor's condition. The situation was delicate, and with every passing moment, things were not improving.
Sir, how are you?
Well, man, how are you? So, he's definitely intoxicated. Okay. Yeah, just as long as that hit of his head. Yeah, he's acting a goof.
Okay. So yeah, just shoot Rachel an email real quick. She's going to run down to the valley. She just needs an affidavit real quick, and then I can just tell her the police in if she smells any alcohol down there as well. We'll at least get the affidavit done for the
Grandview.
Grandview? That's where he's going?
Yep.
Grandview or?
They told me Grandview. I just asked. He said Grandview.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did this start at?
Just east of 48.
So you're heading eastbound. So you're coming from westbound, heading eastbound.
Correct.
And that's where it kind of started
That's
on the
where he
48
started
area?
hitting me from behind.
Okay. And do you know about what time this happened? Like
Yeah, I can tell you exactly. That's when I called 911.
the first contact you had with him.
I called 911 at 2:18, so it had to be maybe 2:10, 2:0, somewhere in that. Because he hit me 4 or 5 times. I waited for him to get around me. Then when he got off on 70,
So-
it probably wasn't that long. So probably 5 minutes, if that.
So between 2:18 and I would say about 2:10 and
yeah,
2:18?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And you said eastbound from, was this before 48? The exit
No,
to
I got
48?
I got on 70 from Route
48.
48 in between there and here. So
Gotcha,
whatever
okay.
that 10 or 12 mile.
Well, yeah, it's probably
section
it's about 2 miles.
Oh yeah, what I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, about 2
And
miles.
Like I said, the guy just started. I mean, he just came up behind me and just started hitting me from behind. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I'll be right back with you to finish that stuff and I'll get that. Okay.
Two outside, one in the passenger seat, one in the back middle row of seats.
Two outside, two in the
Yeah, we had to move them to get to the other guy, unfortunately.
So just 4 right now, correct?
From what I understand, we had a call of this one driving recklessly on 75, possibly involved in a minor crash.
See that guy over there in that truck? He followed him.
Okay.
Yep.
And then he followed him to where he crashed.
And just to let you know, we're pulling video footage,
Okay.
so we'll have that as well.
Okay.
Me to let you know. 4. So you got 4.
One of the officers stated that the driver, identified as Clayton Daniel Hughes, was definitely intoxicated. As more evidence was gathered and detailed records of the accidents were taken, the police began collecting footage and witness testimony to help reconstruct the timeline of events. Fatalities were confirmed, and authorities feared the worst-case scenario.
It's 4 in here?
Yes.
And that's all we're expecting, or is there?
Yeah, there's one was transported to the valley. The survivor of this one, who was in this back corner,
Okay, so
he was right
5.
here.
Okay, so there's 5 in here.
Yeah, 5 in here, 1 in the other car. He's on his way to
Grandview.
As I told the other gentleman, there's a bottle of Maker's Mark on the floor inside his car, and I had a pretty strong smell.
You
So
did?
my friend said it first.
This guy's injuries here, the living, is he?
He's beat up pretty good. I don't think it'd be fatal, but he's in pretty bad shape.
Okay, all right.
At least not at the moment.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
But like I said, the front seat of the floor up here in this white one.
All right.
We called the coroner's office.
Not yet.
We got 4 confirmed.
4 confirmed. Rachel's going to go down to Grandview. Prudence is going to type up a quick affidavit for what he saw here.
Okay.
She's going to go down there. She'll type up the warrant for the blood draw.
How bad is he?
Um,
Do we know?
Yeah. His injuries. Are
The firefighters reported having to assess the condition of the victims to prioritize who would be extricated first for medical assistance. During the process, they confirmed that only 1 person out of 5 in the minivan showed signs of life but was in critical condition.
Rachel's heading to Grandview. Prudence just sent her an affidavit for this up here. We're getting statements from all the firefighters on the odor.
And then he also cut the airbags off. He could smell some alcohol. It said he could smell Altoid, so
JJ is coming out. Murray asked, I might send Murray down to the hospital with Rachel if we need him here.
Yeah, probably not here. Because once he gets clear, we're going to have to transport him.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I just need Boone's giving some information for Linda on if he's, I don't think he has any, like, she's asking if he's on parole, if he just violate him. But I don't think he is.
I don't know.
So, but I was going to call up to the hub and tell them they need to hold someone over so we can get the blood up there and rush it.
Okay. Did the driver of this Volvo, did he show any signs of impairment?
He was slow, but again, and I made a note in there, his answering to speech things were slow, but he was not really slurring his words, and it was an accident. I can't say that he actually was, I can't say he was honestly slurring or anything else.
Did you smell any alcohol?
I got a whiff of it, yes. But he also had some kind of mints. There's Altoids all over the car.
Okay.
But there's the bottle that was laying there on that front floor. I could see that from where I was standing.
How would you describe it? The odor of alcohol?
The odor of alcohol.
Was it the odor of alcohol?
Yes.
Is it coming from his person?
Him person.
Okay.
Yep. I'll actually personally be curious to see how intoxicated, if he was indeed intoxicated. He seemed oblivious to me that, he knew there was an accident, but that's all he said. He just kind of stared out into space.
And you said the smell of Altoids?
Yeah, Altoids. Okay. Mint. And he's got like 3 or 4 cans of it in that back seat on the floor. Because when I opened the door, I saw those on the opposite side. Yeah, right on the opposite side. And he's got them here on the floor too. I see them now.
You just saw them or smelled them?
I did not. I smelled those originally.
Okay.
Some kind of mint. So I'm going to say it had to be those. But he's also got like 3 or 4 more tins in the back seat on the opposite side. And then as I described in there, he was leaning against that console, kind of, oblivious to what was going on. One of the airport officers was standing here when I walked up. She's the one that cut the airbag out and said,
okay.
The officers discussed how to proceed and what protocol to follow next. They needed concrete evidence to confirm that Hughes was intoxicated, and for this, the testimonies from the firefighters would be essential, as they were the only ones who had entered the vehicles and had contact with the driver. Multiple bottles of alcohol were found in Hughes' truck, and the strong smell of mint liquor was present not only inside the vehicle, but also in the aggressor's breath.
It's going this direction coming through the light, and it was green.
So just a solid green for inbound traffic into the terminal.
Yep.
How close were you to? Were you ahead of it, or were you?
I was about where that guy in the yellow jacket is. That's where I was positioned on
right
the
in
road
front of the blue
driving.
car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about where I was. And it felt like it happened in slow motion, but it definitely was not.
You said it was just a solid green for inbound traffic.
Yep, it sure was. The guy in the white vehicle was definitely speeding fast.
So it's 2 lanes up.
Yes, I'm on the right hand.
So you're in the light. So you're in the right-hand lane, and in the white SUV, he passed you
very fast.
In which lane?
On the left, in the left lane.
In the left lane.
Yes, and the van was turning left and turned in front of him. Sure did not realize how fast he was going, but he did not even put on his brakes.
Okay.
The guy in the white vehicle didn't even put on his brakes. I'm speculating a little bit, but it almost seemed like the gray vehicle was hesitant, like didn't know what to do, like kind of slowed down, but then kept going. It was kind of weird.
When the white vehicle passed you, would you be able to just estimate or give a guesstimate on how fast do you think he was traveling?
I would think he was probably still going 65.
Okay.
In my mind, it seemed like it could have been avoided if either driver had, I don't know. It just, I don't know. He was definitely going way too fast, though. I don't think he even put on his, well, I know he didn't. He didn't even put on his brakes or anything. But it almost felt like the gray vehicle saw him coming and was already in the turn and just hesitated, didn't know what to do.
Did you make contact with anyone out of either vehicle?
No, I just pulled over immediately because I knew they would need help. I got out. I witnessed some people trying to help. The guy in the white vehicle did not seem right, but I know he just probably hit his head.
What do you mean by did not seem right?
He was kind of like almost laughing, but you could tell he was alive. A lot of people went to try to help the people in this vehicle, and They just didn't have pulses. They were
Yeah.
probably assuming.
Okay. So you didn't talk to the driver of the white
I
SUV?
did not. I only observed.
Just observed. Okay.
Yeah, but he almost laughed. It was very weird. And he kept trying to get out, and the gentleman there was a police officer here that I believe probably works at the airport that
Yeah.
was just not on duty.
Okay.
Like was just
Yep.
getting off of duty. And he immediately went over there, and the guy kept trying to get out of the vehicle, and he kept telling him not to.
Okay.
Just stay in the vehicle.
That was for the individual in the white SUV. He was sitting in.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And when he did T-bow him, it was very violent, but the gray car did speed and slammed into that pole. I mean, like spun and slammed into that pole.
Taking testimonies, a woman described exactly what she witnessed. She detailed seeing the aggressor driving extremely fast with certain erratic behaviors where he would accelerate and decelerate at inappropriate times. She claimed that Hughes never applied the brakes before the impact, and that when he exited the vehicle, he was laughing and showing incoherent behavior. Was Hughes really that intoxicated, or were there deeper intentions behind his actions?
Looks like this car had the green light. It came up, slid through the intersection. This guy's OBI. There's five people in this car. The driver.
Which way?
Looks like the van was going north. The other Volvo north. This is north. Yep. And then he was going east. And I believe what he did is ran the red light here, came over here. He was back that way.
Is this part of the road rage?
No. Well, yes, that white car is. And then see that white truck over there? It's part of the road rage. So this guy came up behind him, bumped him in the rear like 5 times, and then he followed up here. And as he was following him, he came through here, ran the red light.
While following the Volvo on Interstate 70, what did you observe? Like his driving, speed, was he?
He was going fast, and he was all over the road. He about lost it getting off on the exit ramp.
Okay. They say the exit ramp. Do you mean for this airport
To get
access?
on to airport.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there's marks down there.
And how would you describe all over the road?
He was just changing lanes and.
Just not maintaining his lane? Was he using a turn signal and changing lanes?
He was physical. He was driving the car. He wasn't out of, what I'm saying, out of control. Or
was he passing traffic, or was he just alone and just not maintaining his lane? Or
there wasn't a whole lot of other people. I don't think he passed anyone else. But he was just aggressive driving.
was he in the right lane, left lane, or was he in both lanes?
When he was hitting me, I was in the right hand lane. My cruise control was set dead on the speed limit. He got up behind me really close a couple of times. I thought I might have cut him off or something when I got on the highway and just didn't see him. And then all of a sudden he just starts boom, 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 from behind.
I guess what I mean when I was saying all over the road, after he passed you and you were observing his driving, and you said that he was going fast and all over the road. When you were following him, was he just not able to maintain his lane? Was he?
No, it was almost like he was changing lane. Driving the car. He wasn't drifting back and forth. He clearly was steering the car where he wanted it to go. In my opinion.
But he was changing lanes, but there was no traffic around. Okay.
Right, I think the one was the driver.
No, there's still a guy in here.
No, then he was the passenger.
Oh.
He was the front right passenger.
Oh, okay, so they pulled the driver, okay.
They pulled the driver out.
So we're still working on that.
They worked on him.
Okay. I thought he got thrown over.
They pulled out one of the occupants here.
And then the driver was here.
Then the driver was here.
Okay.
So what I'm saying for the crash report, your front right passenger, your driver remained, so we know those for a fact. Your third row remained, so we know he was in the third row. It's just going to be these two, which I'm going to say probably
in the middle.
That guy on that far side came over top of this guy.
Because he wasn't both. Makes sense.
So.
With all the details, reports, and records in place, the officers completed the documentation to define the charges against the aggressor. Based on videos, testimonies, and evidence, the police continued following protocol and issued an arrest warrant for Hughes as soon as he was discharged from the hospital. 4 fatalities were confirmed. Stephen Castle, age 72 of Clayton, Richard Coatney, age 77 of Pequot, Larry Edwards, age 77 of Tip City, and Richard Turnbull, age 66 of Lewisburg. A 5th person was seriously injured and transported to the hospital. On July the 24th of 2024, Clayton Daniel Hughes, age 26, was charged with 8 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, 1 count of aggravated vehicular assault, failure to stop after an accident, and OVI. He faces years in prison and potential restitution depending on the circumstances of the crime and his prior criminal history.